Hey, it's Dan Morales, and this is Homebuyer Radio. This is episode number 97. This week, what I want to talk about is when you're painted a picture that's not necessarily going to play out, okay? What I mean by that is I'm seeing more and more transactions as we start to see the housing market get closer to normal and we start to see the number of transactions start to slow down. We're seeing more and more transactions where clients are being told what they want to hear. Not necessarily what's going to happen, but being told what they want to hear. What I mean by that is so often when the market gets slower or gets tougher, a lot of times lenders will tell clients whatever they think they want to hear in hopes of getting them to come in and do a transaction or to do, at least make an application with them. The problem with that is in many cases what clients are being told are things that aren't necessarily going to happen. Okay, I just ran into a transaction where it's a gentleman who is self-employed, and he's been self-employed as a personal trainer for a number of years. His self-employment income within this last year was really strong, but the self-employment income for the year before that, due to some things with his CPA, was not near as strong. Okay, so a really funky kind of unique transaction when it comes to the calculation of income. Now, the other lender told him, "Hey, no problem. We're just going to look at the last year. You're good to go, and you're squared away." Right. Well, the problem with that is, for most conventional 30-year fixed rate mortgages, they typically end up with Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac in the end, okay? They're the ultimate source of money for these mortgages. Fannie and Freddie have very specific guidelines when it comes to folks who are self-employed. Now, typically, you're going to have to look at that last 2 years worth of tax returns when you figure out what a client is going to be eligible for, as far as income and qualifying them, okay? The challenge you run into is in this case, you have a loan officer who obviously doesn't have a lot of experience, is telling the client what they want to hear, but not necessarily what they need to hear or what they need to know to understand this process, okay? Now, when you go through and you look at this particular gentleman's income over the last 2 years, if you average that income over the last 2 years, what happens is he doesn't qualify for the mortgage that he's looking to take out. Now, he's being told by the other place, "Hey, no problem, we're good to go, you're qualified," good stuff like that. And then, of course, he gets referred to me through a family member, and I'm, of course, the one guy who's telling him the truth and saying, "You're not as maybe good to go as what you think you are," because you have to take this 2-year average. When you take that 2-year average, you run into a challenge in being able to qualify. Now, I do have a program that's going to work for him, but it's not going to be a loan that I can sell to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac because he technically doesn't qualify. Now, he could continue on with the other lender and be led to believe that something's going to happen that's not going to happen, which is what in some cases, what people choose to do because they want to believe they're going to get something that's not going to play out, only to find out that in the end, it's not going to work out that way, okay? So what happens in this case, I went through, educated the client on, hey, here's what's going to happen if you go down that road. You're going to end up with a transaction that's going to be denied. It's going to be denied at the last second, and you're going to lose the house that you want to buy. So the experience of the person you're working with matters, okay? I can't tell you enough how much it matters because if you needed a really important life-saving surgery, you are going to want to go to the person who is the most knowledgeable, most experienced. You're going to want to make sure that they really know what they're doing. So in a future episode, we'll talk about, how do you vet your mortgage person? How do you know that they really know what they're doing? I know we talked about that recently, but I feel like I just got to beat on that some more because folks are being told what they want to hear, and it's really important that you work with somebody who knows what they're doing. Now, you can make this process a heck of a lot easier for yourself. Just work with me, okay? I lend throughout the U.S. For the most part, we lend in all 50 states. We don't do all products in all states, but we do lend in all 50 states, and would love to be able to have the opportunity to help you out. But I can't stress to you enough how important it is that you really work with a seasoned, knowledgeable mortgage professional that knows what they're doing, because otherwise you could be one of those people that's being told what you want to hear, only to find out that at the end of the day, you get denied for a loan or you don't qualify for the mortgage based on the terms in which you applied because your lender didn't know what they didn't know. Okay, you're going to want to make sure you do some homework on your lender and that your lender really does know what they're doing, or better yet, just work with me. Hey, again, my name is Dan Morales. I go by Dan, the Mortgage Man. My NMLS number is 709-729. You can reach me at 616-931-4629, or you can find me online at danmorales.com. That's DANMORALEZ.com. Of course, Northpointe Bank is an equal housing lender. And one last thing. Hey, do me a favor. If you enjoy this podcast, please, please, please share it. Please write a review on iTunes. Help get the word out there. We're not trying to sell you, hard on a mortgage. Obviously, you're going to buy a house and you're going to get a mortgage. We'd love to have the opportunity to work with you. But, there's darn near 100 episodes of just quality information that is out there to help you understand the home buying process, especially as it relates to mortgages. Do me a favor. Please share that with others so other people can benefit from this content. And ideally, you can help us to get that word out there so that people are educated in the home buying process. Again, I'm Dan Morales. Thanks for listening.